showtime.
Apparently, I unintentionally took some pictures along the way, so, oops. Hey everybody, it's the D-Rock 100! Welcome back to more Pokemon! I almost said Ultra something for a moment. That's not what this game is! Yay, I am a dumb. Anyway, welcome back to more Pokemon Shining Pearl! Last time, we defeated... Actually, yeah, we defeated Gardenia, and we finally got the ability to use Cut outside of battle. We went into the old chateau, and we found some dark lore in there. I guess that's one way of putting it. And we, I guess, in a way, technically introduced you to two new members of my team, and I get to give one of them a nickname. Yay! This time, our Pelsimentor is wearing up. I swear to God, if that's going to be a thing that's happening again, I am going to punch someone in the dick. So anyway, like I was trying to say from before, this time, we have half of a large location of the Grand Underground, and then we need to, well, cover. First, I want to get these berries right here. Let me bring this down just a little bit. There we go. Now you can hear me a little bit better. So, let me just make my way back to Eterna City, and we will carry it on from there. Right. Okay, that seems a bit better. Well... yeah, I've had that issue since Torn of the Golden Country, and I guess I think it might be time for me to get a new Dazzle or something. Well, anyway, enough of that silliness. I am going to go play alone. If I remember correctly, yes. If you notice them from right there on the map, I might have done some exploring around a little bit off screen. I was mostly doing it just to find some items that we can find on the ground, and I'm actually kind of proud that I did it because I found a certain item that I've been looking for. Actually, I found a couple of them. So, before we go any further, let's go ahead and use our digger drill to make a secret base. Let's go in. So now we have our own secret base. You have this crystal ball right here. If you recall from earlier, we've gotten some statues that we've gotten from before. Yeah, I've done a lot of off-screen while looking for stuff. So, what makes this all the more interesting? Well, not only can you place certain pieces from wherever you want to put them, but you could actually do something rather special. You just throw in a Togepi in there. It'll kind of put you in the center for good measures. Let's see here. I'll use this as an example. This is basically for what you're going to be doing for your secret base. But what's really nice, you notice that this crystal orb has now changed color. What does it do? Go to statue effect. Slightly raises the appearance rates of poison-type Pokemon. The more statues of the Pokemon that you have in your base of the same type, increases the chances of what Pokemon types you're going to be seeing around there. If you put this away and we replace it with something else, let's see here. What's a good choice to go for? We'll go for this Rapidash right here. Still looks like there is the power poison. Here's the poison types. Okay, let's replace it with something else. You know what? Let's do that. Now you have a higher chance of finding fire types. I think you might be seeing where this is going here. If there's a certain type of Pokemon that you're looking for that matches that category, those stats are gonna come to some good use. So, what do you say that we begin our little exploration and see what kind of fun we can find down here? And I guess while we're going to be doing all this and maybe showing up a little more for what to expect with the Pokemon we can find down here on the surface underground, which I should probably take this time to mention, the more badges in that you get, with the inclusion of certain HMs in that you get, the higher the level of the Pokemon you're going to be finding down here. I think you might find that it may come to some good use. I'll only be cutting things around a little bit when I'm not talking about certain Pokemon or whatever. And then I'll tell you a little bit more about the Pokemon that we find along the way. So, on the surface, from routes 211 and 206, we have a grand total of 7 new Pokemon for us to find. And I think you'll find that some of these Pokemon can be of some good use to us if you plan on catching them for your team or for other purposes. Except for maybe 3 of them. But I'm for equality in this one, so let's go ahead and talk about those Pokemon right here and now, starting at Route 211, just east of Eterna City. First off is Ponyta. It is a classic fire type, and not much really needs to be talked about this. Ponyta is a very interesting Pokemon. For several generations up until Gen 4, it is regarded as one of the fastest pure fire types. It got knocked down a few pegs to this day. So, at least it's our noble steed, I guess? I guess sort of what kind of hinders it a little bit is that it's mostly meant to be a physically offensive fire type Pokemon, and not a bad physically sweeper as well. But if you want one, I definitely would suggest maybe Flame Body for its ability, because it may cause the Pokemon to touch it and to get burned. Not bad to say the least. Runaway ensures an easy getaway from Pokemons in battle, or specifically wild battles encounters. And Flash Fire just boosts its fire type moves by 1 level after each use. Not much really needs to be said about that. Unfortunately, it takes up to a level 40 or 42, one of those 2 levels, to fully evolve. And honestly, I don't think I really like it that much. That's probably one of the biggest hindrances that I had to deal with Ponyta. It has a really nice appearance from that in the Galar form, and even though that you're not going to be seeing it in this particular game, it actually has a pretty nice appearance, and its stats are identical. But all around, Ponyta's a classic. Everyone likes it. It's really quick. Just be mindful that it's good at dealing physical hits, and one of the best physical moves and that you'll be seeing later on won't be for a while. Next up is Hoothoot. This is a normal flying type, and honestly, it's actually the more special defensive type. But what really makes it rather interesting is that this is a Pokemon that can even learn Confusion and Hypnosis naturally, even before its evolution. I think. I don't know. I don't really pay attention to moves that it learns while leveling up, but I know that it'll eventually learn those, which are some pretty interesting psychic type moves. If you definitely want one, I kind of want to say that Tinted Lens might actually be a really nice ability to go for. The Pokemon that can use non-effective moves to deal regular damage. you might actually find some advantages onto it. But other than that, Kenai is probably going to be the best one to go for. And Insomnia just prevents it from falling asleep. Not much really needs to be said about it. But I guess if you just don't want to have a Pokemon that's good for tanking hits, Hoothoot would give you a good one. And it's pretty close into evolving as well. It'll actually become one of the best special defensive Pokemon this early in the game. Unfortunately, that's about for where the real positives end. A majority of the moves that it learns are normal, flying, and even throwing a couple of Psychic-type moves as well. So, if you want to have a really good Pokemon that can be very good at being diverse, Hoothoot's a good choice, but I believe that there's a better option for something later. Okay, so I want to pause in the bios for a moment because I actually found a very interesting item. This is a blue square. This is a very, very nice item. It is known as the Splash Plate. I don't know if I actually got an item like this once before because, like I said, I've done some excavating on some items from before. Let me see that for just a moment. No! This is actually brand new. If you're gonna find any more plates, rather than on the surface, down here in the underground is the place to go. Well, anyway, back to the bios. What's next? Okay, yeah, sure. Even though this one's kind of out of place on there, but I don't care at this point. Not picky. Xiangling! Okay, maybe I can complain about it a little bit. Xiangling is a pure Psychic type and eventually evolve into probably one of the rarest Pokemon to find out in the wild of Chimecho. I really have a hard time recommending this Pokemon. The only good thing that it has is that it has an immunity to ground because of that Levitate ability. And also, why is this thing not a part-head Steel type? Because it looks like it has a freaking bell as an appearance. Yeesh, I guess they really trying to amp things up for that matter, am I right? Okay, but in all seriousness, I kind of consider this to be a very mediocre Psychic-type Pokemon. It's one of the rarer ones to find, unless if you're like right next to Mount Coronets, which are pretty commonly easy to find. The only reason of why I'm choosing not to go for this Pokemon is because it's mediocre and the moves are very scarce. Not to mention that some of the best moves that it learns are through TMs, which you won't be finding until later on, unfortunately. It's decent for what it is, but it's actually a little bit slower than you would think at first glance. So, all around, not bad, but it definitely has room to improve. Mediterrane, a pure fighting Psychic type. This is actually probably one of the more balanced out ones, to be more precise. If you want one, take it from me. You want to have pure power for its ability. Well, why is this shine through so well, you ask? Well, aside from the fact that is a signature ability, it doubles its attack stat. That's why I said probably one of the more balanced ones, because when you take it into consideration, at maxed out and with a Mediterrane, that attack stat, it could potentially reach a maximum of 392. Can I just say, This is a Pokemon that I consider to be very good, but it's unfortunately a scenario that it can kind of hinder it just a little bit. The reason of why I say a little bit is because it mostly knows normal Psychic fighting and maybe throw in a couple of other types as well that are okay for what it is. I definitely recommend that you give it some physical offensive fighting and Psychic type moves. Like, I think it even learned Zen Headbutt naturally, which is pretty nice. Unfortunately, I kind of consider this as a somewhat of a mediocre Pokemon. And I know I've been giving a lot of Pokemon some trash throughout this bio, but that's part of the problem that I have with some of these somewhat early Pokemon. They're just so mediocre, and there are a lot to come by. Mediterrane's not bad. You can find it as an evolution later on, which I actually would recommend that you catch it as an evolution then rather than now, because you actually will have a little bit of a disadvantage, though. Especially if you're playing Shining Pearl. So, it's really nice, but hold off on that just for a little while longer. Now on to Route 206. 206 has 3 new Pokemon here that we can find, and these are some pretty interesting Pokemon, but unfortunately, they could be hindered once again. First up, Kricketune, the evolution of Kricketot. This is when Kricketot really shines through. It becomes a really nice and physical sweeper, and it may not be the fastest, but it can now start using some physical offensive bug-type moves, and then what makes it known for to be pretty decent. It's balanced, it's pretty quick, and it has some of the highest base attack stat of any bug types that you see at this point. The only big thing to really be careful with is that bug is it's a type that has some of the most weaknesses and that you'll be seeing throughout the game. But experiment. You no longer have to worry about a Kricketot that constantly has to use Bide all the time. And you can finally use it to its fullest potential. If you didn't go for a Kricketot from before, here's your golden opportunity to use this evolution of Kricketune. What's next? Yeah, Stunky's in the house. Which is what I would say if this was not Brilliant Diamond. Yep, it's a Pokemon that is only exclusive to Brilliant Diamond. That doesn't mean that it's bad. It actually has some very good use. And I mean some very good use. A Poison Dark type, it only has one weakness. Ground. This is probably one of the most interesting Pokemon that I ever had that didn't see to really talk about. I used one before, and dang, it was an explosive. Literally, because it can learn Explosion. I guess its body is filled with methane. But in all seriousness, the methane that it has is pretty good for that stench ability. This may potentially cause the Pokemon to flinch at whatever movement that you use on it. Honestly, that is actually kind of funny. But you want to know what's funny? If this thing even uses any type of move that doesn't involve flinching, like anything that's like a special oriented move, which it can, which it does learn Flamethrower natural, well, through TM. It can even flinch from using Flamethrower. So does that mean that it shoots flames out of its ass? If that's really the case, I'll pay money to see that. Okay. With all weird imagination set aside, Stunky is a really good Pokemon. Stench is probably the one that I would recommend more for competitive-wise. But Kenai and Aftermath is probably going to be the better options to go for. Just be mindful that it does have a major weakness into ground, and if you can get by that, Stunky is a very good Pokemon to go for, and I definitely recommend that you use it to good effects. The only catch is, it's only in Brilliant Diamond, and it's not in Shining Pearl. I guess you could say that really stinks! I've been waiting to say that one for a while. And finally, probably the one that I've said, I guess is probably the nuttiest one for last. Bronzor. A Psychic Steel type, and that is probably one of the more tactical Pokemon. Its two main abilities of Heat Proof and Levitate are probably some of the most important abilities that you'll be seeing throughout the game. Because it's thanks to these, you get to choose what weakness that it has. It's either weak to fire, or it would potentially be weak to ground. And it's your choice on how you want to do it. But with all these abilities set aside, there is something that I want to point out. Bronzor is meant to be a double wall and not really so much of anything else. That doesn't mean that it's useless in any way, shape, or form. Oh no. That slow stat ability of only base 23 might actually prove to be of some good use. The reason why I say that is because it may know the move Gyro Ball. The slower you are, the greater the damage. Let that sink in for a moment. So being slow may actually have its perks. Or I guess in this case, drags. 2 puns in a row in my bio. What am I talking about? But in all seriousness, Bronzor is a very good Pokemon, and its evolution can also be found later on, and I'll be talking about that when we get to it. But in all seriousness, not much really changes about it. If you want my personal opinion, Heatproof is probably going to be the better option to go for, because you're going to be dealing with a handful of powerful Fire-type Pokemon later on. Levitates are pretty good, but it can be a challenge if you don't know what you're doing. I don't recommend Heavy Metal though, because even though the Heavy Metal just doubles your weight, I really don't see for why that would be the case, because I don't think it learns any moves that it makes it any move stronger depending on how heavy you are. But then again, I'm not exactly the sharpest tool in the shed to explain more about that, but maybe you can. Okay, we definitely have a lot of underground that was covered, and ooh, there's a Swineup right there. They definitely have gotten into some pretty good uses of when I first had to play Shining Pearl on my other save file. In fact, if you're having an issue with a couple of bosses, especially at this point, I actually would recommend Swineup. It's actually probably one of the more... What am I thinking of? One of the more interesting Pokemon that can cover a couple of weaknesses. But the catch is they do have a weakness to all of the starters. So there's that. It just has its weaknesses. And I didn't even give it a proper bio. Alright. So pretty much at this point, I'm going to be covering the rest of the western half of this long dungeon. And then we're going to be seeing for what kind of stuff we can do along the way. I'll try to find something in it to at least try to talk about, but not much really happens at this point, because I kind of covered everything that I wanted. Oh, I thought that was something cool. Let's see here. It is in the center. Oh, I hate these metal shards so much. But okay. I guess it's one of those scenarios that are for when... It's really fun, but they hinder it once a bit. And there it goes, hindering again. Hindering. Oh, right! I never talked about this from before. For some of the rooms that have like some of those bigger squares, and like how you say like a couple of these small squares surrounding a big one, that is actually a very... I don't remember for what its main purpose is, but I think it has some the rooms that have like the highest chances of finding rare Pokemon, and they just cover more ground that have a large variety of Pokemon to go for. We also have some water right here that we could see from before, but there's nothing we can do about that, at least not yet. Alright. Unfortunately, to get back into that last location, and that's due south of us a little bit, we gotta go this way. Thank you. I'm just seeing what's in random walls at this point. Let's see here. There we go. Nothing? Really? Oh, hello. Phew! Talk about some close calls there. Okay. Ooh, almost red head first and into a side up. Well, that would have been a headache. Oh, right in front of him. Nice. Alright. Nope. Nope. Metal shards! Why? Why are you a thing? Oh, hello! Frustration has paid off with a revive. I guess I should probably point out that there are some healing items in that you can find down here as well. That revive we found is actually probably one of the most unusual items that we can find in like a ton. I guess I probably shouldn't complain much about it right now, but oh well. Yeah, closer to the corner on this side, we have a large environment, and that's waiting for us over here. We'll cover this section right here first, and then got some Krogan sound here, and we can actually find you guys in the wilds. And like, excuse me, and is that? Oh my god, that Cascoon is bouncing! That is adorable! Weasel right there, we've already covered you. Yeah, part of me really did want to cover some of these Pokemon, and that's here in the underground. But the reason why I didn't is because I guess Cerebi.net wasn't 100% clear on what Pokemon can appear, depending on for what level you are or how far you got in the game. Then again, Cerebi.net hasn't quite updated on a few things as of late. No judging, of course. It's just a little bit of a disappointment on my end. Just like how these walls keep on collapsing in my face. Okay. Let's see. In the grassland area. Let's see here. Anything of cuteness around here? Ooh! Ooh! Here's the embodiment of a spoiled brat. Actually, you know what? Gumby! What did I just run into? Oh, okay, good. I should point out about something. This Gumby is a female. I'm gonna say this right here, right now. Be sure that your Combi is female. Otherwise, it will become one of the most useless Pokemon in the entirety of the game. And I actually might. I guess I could catch you just for the sake that I caught you. Ooh, sweet sense. That just lowers my accuracy. Evasiveness, excuse me. And wow, I didn't stock up on any more balls because I could have sworn that we could have potentially get great balls at this point, but I guess I'm one badge short. But oh well. And jeepers, my evasiveness is now pretty much slimmed. I'll give it another try. I haven't really been doing a lot of catching up Pokemon lately because there's not really much of a point to catching all the Pokemon. That's only in a past game. Well, a past generation. In this particular generation, you just have to see the Pokemon. And that's all you really need to do. Wow! You know what? Maybe I'll leave you alone. Ugh! Bad Beetle. Well, that was an adventure and a half if I ever saw one. Okay, so coming up here, I believe we have another riverbank area? Spacious cave. Okay. Uh-oh. Ah! Damn it, rock! This one that's in our focus. This one's clever. Excuse you? Are you just asking him to get your ass destroyed? Because he'll bite. You just got spanked. A rare candy. You know, I've always wondered, and for those of you who are one of those enthusiasts, get your mind out of the gutter. What would happen if a human ate a rare candy? Would they get physically stronger? Would they gain in age? That's always something that I've always wondered. What would happen if a human ate a rare candy? I don't know if they ever showed this in the anime. I know there was, I think, a rare candy that did make an appearance in the anime. But in all seriousness, I'm legit curious. A Garchomp statue. We're gonna be definitely seeing one of you later. The Stillwater Cavern. This is basically what I'm talking about. It has some of the largest open space in the entirety of the underground. There's large varieties of Pokemon that you can find. And secrets you can find in many locations. They have a large body of water, which, like I said, we can't do anything about it right now. But we'll definitely want to remember this for some... What did I run into? Oh, it's you. It's you, Voodoo. Yeah, like I was trying to say, we'll definitely be covering those waters sometime later because we're almost guaranteed that. Now, if I can try to talk about something else and that's relative. Jeepers. Jeepers! It's the creeper! Okay. I pretty much just covered all that I wanted to cover, I guess. So now that we've gotten that taken care of, let's talk to this guy. Ah, you made your secret base! Excellent! I thought I might have been asking too much of you, but you did it! Well done. Take these as your reward. Quick balls! And dust balls! Dive balls! By the way, a digger drill can only be used once. If you wish to move your secret base, you will need to obtain another digger drill. Trade spheres for one underground. Now, what should I have you do next? Not to worry, you can place statues in your own secret base as you see fit. So for next set, I want you to decorate your secret base. I am way ahead of you, but a square pedestal! You stuck it out to the end. This will be my final test. The Grand Underground attracts lots of people. You're not the only one down there. Only spelunkers have secret bases of their own. Your final test is to find someone else's secret base. What do? Make sure you look inside. Well, that's gonna be a bit of a problem. Because if that's gonna be the case, I'm going to have to connect to the internet, and unfortunately, I tried doing this from before, and I think I might be hindering a bit of an issue. So, I'll put on screen right now for what the reward is for your final test. And if it's worth it, then I'll see what I can do on my end on that. So, I guess with that, I think it's about time for us to end things off right here. We're not going to progress into the next city yet. But we're going to head back to Orberg City because if you recall from earlier, there was a gate that we saw from before we reached Orberg City, and it's a location that we haven't explored yet, but it's now something that I now want to explore. So, next time, we are going to be exploring just that, alright? Just want to get some repels right because we're going to be needing that a lot for what's to come. See you guys then!